Hi, I'm Wendy Nunez, Callie's mom, and I am making chicken and sausage gumbo.
And what community and culture does this represent for you?
So this is a very traditional New Orleans Cajun meal served in South Louisiana. Um, yeah, there's many variations of it, but today's version is going to be chicken and sausage.
Awesome. And is there something that this symbolizes for you or that reminds you of, or anything in your family that you want to talk about?
So gumbo is a staple in New Orleans community. From my mom to your dad's family to my grandparents, everybody in New Orleans makes a gumbo. Everybody's got their different variations of it, and there's seafood gumbos, and there's chicken and sausage, and some people even put all of that in together. So it's just something that's always been a part of New Orleans culture. A lot of seasonings. New Orleans food is rich in seasonings, and you'll see that in the ingredients that we chose today. And like I said, everybody's got their own variation of it. And so as you taste people's gumbo, there's certain things you like. You ask them, what did you put in it? And then your own gumbo evolves based on the taste you like or didn't like. And mine keeps evolving every time I make it.
Well, I'm excited to learn. We'll get started whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, in the New Orleans culture, we have a saying that first you make a roux. And a roux is just equal parts of flour and vegetable oil. And you cook that on a very slow temperature, low temperature, and until it browns. And there are many variations of a roux. Some people like a very light roux, which would be a light brown gravy. And there's some who like a very dark roux, which is almost like milk chocolate. I like somewhere in between, and when I know my roux is getting to what I like when it's about the color of peanut butter. And so we're gonna get started heating up cooking oil, and when it gets hot, we'll add equal parts. For this recipe, for probably feed about 8 to 10 people, I'm using 3/4 of a cup of each, and this is just all-purpose flour and vegetable oil.
Awesome.
So we poured in the vegetable oil. We're gonna let it get good and hot. And while we're doing that, we're gonna use the same measuring cup and measure out 3/4 of a cup of flour. Now, the great thing about a roux is if you think it needs a little more thickness, you can add more. And if you think it's too thick, you can add more water or chicken broth, as you see in a little bit.
And you have to stir it pretty much like the whole time, right?
Yeah, you're gonna put this on a low temperature, and you're gonna stir it the whole time. So it's gonna start out just white, just like the flour. It's gonna make kind of like a paste. Okay, so we have been cooking this roux for about 30 minutes. And as you can see, it's starting to get to the color of peanut butter. And so at this time, we're gonna add what we call in New Orleans the Holy Trinity. In Catholic or Catholicism, it's the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And in cooking terms, it's onions, bell pepper, and celery. So once we add those vegetables, that will stop the browning process of our roux and allow all of the flavors from the seasoning to come together. So we're gonna add those at this time. For this recipe, again, about 8 to 10 people, we did 4 onions, medium-sized onions, 2 bell peppers, and about a half a bunch of celery. So we have cooked down our Holy Trinity and to where most of the onions are translucent, and you can see it's congealed with the roux. And before we add the meat, the andouille sausage and chicken, we're going to add some garlic. You don't add the garlic at first because it'll burn. And so I like to add about 2 tablespoons of garlic to this amount. This is a teaspoon, so I'm gonna add 4. And the garlic only needs to cook down for about 2 minutes because you're gonna be cooking this for a lot longer anyway. But once you put the garlic in, a flavor really comes alive. Once we've cooked down our garlic, we're gonna add our sausage. This recipe, we're using Cajun andouille sausage, which is a little bit spicier than a traditional smoked sausage. So we've added almost all of our ingredients. Our last 2 things we're gonna add is our chicken broth, and then finally we're at our already cooked chicken. Now, this case I use chicken breast, but traditionally I would use chicken thighs because they're a lot more tender and moist. So we're gonna add the chicken broth to it. And then if we still need some more to thin it out a little bit, we'll add some additional water later. And we'll let this cook down. And our final ingredient, since it's already cooked, is our chopped up chicken. And then we will put this on a simmer and let it cook down for about a half an hour.
And what do you normally serve with this gumbo?
So gumbo is always served with a white long grain rice and many times French bread with butter. So.
Yummy. Thank you for sharing your food with us today.
It was a pleasure. I hope you make it soon.